Hi, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch, and this is the project we're making today. This is week 5 of the 12 weeks of Halloween. So this is our Frankie box for this year. The measurements of all of our cardstock is going to be on the screen for you and also in the free PDF. So we're going to start by doing the trick or treat first. Okay, so this is the Scary Cute stamp set. I'm using Memento ink, and this image has Trick or Treat, You're So Sweet. We want to not stamp You're So Sweet, so I'm just going to take a Post-it note and cover that up. Looks like I needed to clean my stamp there. And then I'm just going to ink that up. Remove the Post-it note. And then stamp Trick or Treat. Now I'm just going to take my scissors and trim that out. You can use your teeny tiny trimmer if you want. When it's Halloween projects, it is okay if things are crooked. Okay, so there's that. Now for the other white piece, we're going to be cutting out the eyes here using the Stylish Shape dies, but we're going to do all of our die cutting at one time. So this outside part is the pillow box dies, also the paper. So I've gone ahead and cut out the box, the outside of the box. We still have to make the inside of the box. So this is 2 pillow box pieces cut out of Parakeet Party cardstock. And then we want to cut out one using the Designer Series paper. This is the Parakeet Party in the In Color. We're also going to cut out his hair and the back here using these 2 pieces of basic black. And then we also want to cut out the nose. So the nose part is pretty easy. We'll go ahead and knock that one out. So I'm going to take my 1/2 inch circle punch. We no longer carry this in our catalog, but you can find one online. And then I'm going to take my circle, 1/2 inch circle, and I'm going to use my stylus, and I'm just going to make little lines all around the whole circle. And you'll be able to see that a little bit better in a few minutes. So now let's do some die cutting. I'm going to move this over and get my die cut machine. So we're using the basic border dies, the pretty pillow box dies, and the Stylish Shape dies. And we're going to start with the Designer Series paper. We're going to place the pillow box die right on top. So here's the front of the box. Now we're going to take the basic black layer, one of them, and we're going to just cut that top piece. Okay, that's how it looks right now. Then we're going to take the border and we're going to, this is forming his hair, okay? So when you're doing this, you want to try to line up the, I guess I call them chevrons, like that. So you'll see the pointy right there and the pointy right there. It's okay if it's a little bit off. Okay, there's the front. And then for the back, we're just going to cut straight across again. there's that. We're going to be doing some trimming with our paper trimmer in just a minute. Now we need 2 eyes. While I'm cutting, I'll remind you there's a free PDF over on my website that will have all the measurements and pictures. So it is free. Just head over there and print it. And if you liked this video, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And if you subscribe, you'll get a notification when I go live and when I have a new video. Okay, so here's all of our pieces. Now, we still have to make the box. So let's, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and fold these. This is going to be on the bottom of the box. And so before I proceed any further, I want to go ahead and draw his mouth. And that way, if I mess up, then I can turn it over and use the other side. Then we'd have a Mrs. Frankenstein, right? Or Miss Frankenstein. I'm using our black Stampin' Right marker. And I am using the fine tip in, whatever you prefer. So I'm going to start, I'm just making W's, okay? So I'm going to start, let's see, I want to go up about a finger. Yeah, so right here. Okay. Not perfect, but it's not meant to be. And then we'll give them a little scar over here and up here. It looks pretty funny right now, but it will look fine. Okay, so now let's make the box real quick. That's this piece here. And this measure is 6 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to place it on the 6 1/2 or 6 1/4 inch side, and I'm going to score it at 1 1/2 on both sides. So 1 1/2. And then on the 5 1/2 inch side, I'm going to score it at 2 inches on both sides. And this will also have a box template. It's a pretty basic box, but it's a nice size. I'll show you the candy that fits in there in just a few minutes. For cutting, we're just going to cut up to the score line, to the score line. Same thing on this side, and then we're just going to trim those 2 tabs. So here, here, and then the same thing over here. Okay, that's how it looks now. So we're going to place adhesive on these 2 tabs. So I'm going to use my tear and tape. You can use your favorite adhesive. I go back and forth. Sometimes I use the Stampin' Seal Plus. Our weather has been so hot and humid, incredibly humid this year. So I've used the tear and tape a little bit more during the high humidity. Okay, now I'm going to put my tear and tape over here on the side as well. If I'm giving the projects away and not keeping them for myself or just samples, I do like to use a lot of adhesive so that it doesn't come apart later. Okay, so we're going to remove the backing, and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. So I'm going to do the sides first, or the tabs, I should say. So there's that. And then now these. And now this side. I got a little crooked on the other side, but most of this box is going to be covered up. by the pillow box. So you'll see this is going to be the front. Whoops. So you can see we're going to have to do some cutting. Okay, so we're going to add the Designer Series paper to the front of the box. I did have to edit out. I started to add the hair first, so I did have to edit that out. Okay, so then that goes like that. Okay. And then we want to add the hair. So I'm going to add a little bit more liquid glue. Slide this into place. There we go. Okay, so now let's fold on that score line. Okay, that's how it looks right now. You can see we just need to cut straight across there. So you can use a pencil or an erasable marker. I'm just going to take my erasable marker, and that's where I'm going to cut. Okay, so here's my trimmer. I'm just going to place that on the track and cut. And it looks like I cut just a little shy, so I'm going to do that again. Okay, now we want to do the same thing to this one. So all I'm going to do is just place it there. Okay, now we have to trim the back of the box, or the back. We're just going to cut straight across. So we're going to use that existing score line. And I'm sorry, I do need to replace my blade. It is not working the best. Okay, so we'll go to the back now and we'll glue that down. Okay, so there's that. Now let's attach the box. So it's going to go just like that. And what we want to do is place our adhesive on this piece. So again, I'm using my tear and tape. Okay. So I'm going to lay it flat. Let me show you how I do this. So lay it flat, center it on there. I think that's pretty good. And then fold that bottom up, okay? And then we're going to add adhesive here. And you can just use your liquid glue for this part. Okay, I'll hold this for a second. Now normally I do like to add the back of the box first, but this time it's going to be last. Okay, so now we're going to add the back of the box, and let me give you a tip. I should have added that first, but it's not the end of the world, so it'll be fine. But what I'm going to do now, before I add the back, so I would do this after you add the back. Wait, let me reverse that. And then add the back first, then trim those tabs, and then add your front, and then trim the tabs again, okay? And if you leave these, it's not the end of the world. I just think it looks better if you trim them off, okay? So now we're going to add this one, and same thing, we're going to trim those tabs. You can go ahead and trim them now before you add it if you want. Sometimes if you do that though, you might cut them a little crooked. Okay, so now adhesive on here. And I hope I did not confuse y'all. If this did not make sense to you, we will be making a holiday version next week. So, okay, I'm going to pause the video in just a minute and get some new adhesive. Okay, so place that there. Make sure it's lined up. See what I mean? So I prefer to have that Designer Series paper on top. So add the back of the box first and then add the front. And that will look better on the bottom. But who's going to be looking at the bottom, right? Now we're going to add some liquid glue to this part. And hold that. This pillow box dies is one that I feel like I've used several times. If you go over to my blog and you use the search box and you type in pretty pillow box, it will bring up all the projects I've made. Yeah. Okay, so now we need to finish his face. So we're going to add the circle. Maybe I should have made the mouth a little smaller, right? Or a little lower. I don't know. It's always confusing, right? So we're going to add the nose first so that we can build the rest of it out. So what I've done is I've taken 2 mini dimensionals. These are the black ones. So I'm going to put one on top of the other. So take the backing off. And then add the other one. And then what this does is it elevates it even higher because that's kind of cool, right? So I'm going to center it above his mouth. Just like that. And then his eyes are going to go here. I don't know why I'm laughing. I just think that every time I make these, they just crack me up. And then we're going to pop up his eyebrows, also using a mini dimensional. And you know what? I actually want a half of a mini dimensional. So let's... Now I really feel like I'm doing surgery. Okay, there's that one. And then here's this one. Take the backing off of the dimensional, which I'm struggling with. Oh, I just realized that I drew the scars in the wrong spot. They were supposed to be over here. Oh, well. Every one that you make, they all look different, right? Okay, so the classic, no, these are black, what are these called? Black matte dots. Yeah, I should move his scars. And then now for the greeting, we're just gonna take another mini black Stampin' Dimensional. It's sticking to my finger. And we're going to add it up here. And then I'm going to take this Parakeet Party Twine. This is in the In Color pack. So when I edit the video, I'll make a note that I drew the scars in the wrong spot so that it will, yeah, hopefully fix my error. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I've got my mini glue dots. I'm gonna pick that up and then just kind of squeeze it, make that glue dot a little bit smaller. I usually use my Take Your Pick tool to pick that up. That way I don't untie it. Now I want to show you the candy that's going to fit in here real quick. So we've got one of these little apple fruit pies. It's got the same color green. And then it has a couple of the high chews that'll fit in there. You could also add all the little snack size Halloween candy, you know, like the Reese cups and high chews. I like using the color coordinated so it's not so noticeable. Okay, so that wraps this up. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to print your free PDF and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.